Hi, welcome. In this video here, I'm just got finished with interacting with Oliver, adding the downs on. So here he's having a nice big drink of water, okay, and I'm about to put him again back in the crate. So again, this is day 2. So I just want to see again in terms of improvement, you know, again getting another kind of view of how I'm doing this. And again, before I put him in the crate, again, I'm going to put the remote collar back on him, because again, the remote collar is, you know, for the crate. So I'm going to bring him over here a little bit. But understand, like right away, I see the resistance. As soon as he knows the crate is going to happen, right, he's very resistant to it because it's about the past. He knows that he's kind of really caused a lot of turmoil and chaos going in that crate. And so to him, he's had some success. All right, so this is where you have to kind of break this down. It's a more of a focused type exercise. And again, I'm going to be using the choke chain up high in his neck. But again, just about how you kind of break his mind down, because I do want his legs to move on their own. I want him to become more agreeable to the crate. But understand, it is a control. It's another power play. You know, it is really is a power play, but it's not a type of power play where I'm trying to create a war, okay, but definitely is a power play. So I'm going to start to bring him over to the crate. He already knows because he senses what the routine is here, but knows right here, so he's locked in using the choke chain. So pressure's coming around the back of the collar. Come on. Good boy. Come on. I want his paws to lift up over that without me having to pick them up, okay? Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Taking a moment here. Come on. Come on. Just trying to get my arm in as far as I can. Come on. There we go. You notice the shaking of the leg. There, same thing. There we go. See? Same thing, we just tapping him a little bit so he doesn't try to rush out. And then we'll go back to the remote collar as needed, if needed, okay? But you saw there, okay, the whole thing is to link this in so that it follows a naturalistic body motion, okay? So if I want him to start to be more agreeable with going in the crate, I want to go right to just using the choke chain, but in a way that I want to break his mind down. So I'm just going to give him a little vibration here. His expectation here is to start to get him to lay down and relax more, okay? So he's definitely getting less pushy in the crate over yesterday. Now I'm going to sit down here just so he sees that I'm not looking to get him out again. So as soon as I sat down, well, he laid right down, so which is great. So, but all to say, he's turning to the back of the crate, which is good too, because it helps him de-stress. Okay, this is the, you know, you see the kind of forwardness of a dog when they're holding a lot of control, that kind of forward, almost aggression. You see dogs go forward. I mentioned this before in the video, the transition between forward and then starting to go more back in the crate. Just starting to center, starting to relax more, because things start to make sense. Okay, even there, put him in the crate, you know, it looks a lot worse than it is. Okay, when I'm doing this, like he, you know, I can sense in the dog, even with Oliver, I can sense at what level he's getting more agreeable, because I wouldn't be doing that if I was dealing with a dog that was really aggressive or really had a lot of control where I'm going to get bit. I would never get my body down like that. Okay, the dog would have a muzzle on to begin with, but you know, with Oliver, he's just being really stubborn, and he thinks that he can use his body weight and use his body certain ways to stop it, because that's what's worked in the past. Here it's not working like it did before at all, and so I'm just, because it's all technique, I'm just locking in, and so this is, his legs are lifting, I am pushing on his body a little bit, but what I'm taking advantage is the natural kind of forward motion, so this links into his state of mind. So every time I do it, I'm going to show a few more, you know, times like this how I'm doing it. It really helps to transfer over. So he just says, okay, I'm just, you know what, you know, Dale owns the crate, I'm just going in, okay? But I'm not trying to jerk and yank and, you know, bring a lot of erratic, undue force on him at certain times. It's smooth and fluid. You know, I can sense that he's, you know, pulling back, and you know that that's going to happen. But again, I'm just, you know, just forward. I think a certain way, and just lock in. You bring it to, it's like bridge building. You bring it to a point of, you know, creating that bridge for him. And then, as you see there, he goes in, no big deal. You know, you don't want him coming trying to get out. You just kind of use your fingertips to push him back a little bit, and then switch right over to the remote collar. You see how he's kind of starting to de-stress more and more, because the crate becomes as a place for him to go into as a follower. Okay, it's his downtime. So, you know, in between interacting with him the way I'm doing it, it gives him kind of recovery time and also working through. But also the crate now makes sense because it is control. You know, this is why yesterday, he was really biting into the crate, trying to get out of it really, really hard, because it takes on different meaning. Before, he might appear like he's somewhat okay in the crate, only because he's in total control. Okay, understand that when people talk about the crate certain ways, it's context. You know, I challenge that to say, okay, tell me, you know, how you're doing it. Because, so right here, he's just stamped a little bit, and I can decide whether I want to vibrate. I'll vibrate a little bit, just right there. His nose is hitting the top of the crate. I just gave him a little tiny vibration. And because what happens is, the vibration part of it, and you'll see here in a second, starts to make more sense to him. So I'll just tap, see, just gave him a little tap again. So just starting to work his mind. I'm not using shock. Not liking it. Down. Because I'm just sitting over here calm, I'm relaxed. You know, I'm not trying to stare him down or create conflict. So even when you're doing this type of thing, it isn't meant to be, you know, a war with him, because see what happened there. So he just went right back into relaxation again, because I didn't try to escalate by hovering over the crate, standing up, you know, staring at him. You know, I just gave him a couple little short vibrations to help to communicate with him, say, hey, just relax, which he's doing. So anyway, this has all come along very well. Thanks for watching.